guys, welcome back to my channel, Mississippi Girl Gardening and Couponing and NC. I am Tamika, coming at you with not an oldie but a goodie video. So in this video we're going to be talking about different ways to fertilize your garden, whether it's your vegetable garden, your flower garden, whatever. So one of the things I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be showing you an effective way to make earthworm tea. Yes, earthworm tea. Now y'all know me, I don't have no problem with throwing some castings into the soil and putting some water on it and letting it, slowly do its thing over time. But some of you may want to do like a tea or whatever, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Well, one way to do it. It's multiple ways, so many different ways, but I have a string. You can have some twine, whatever type of string. I just grabbed this that I had bought from the Dollar Tree. It was like a rope thing, and I cut it, just some string. What I'm doing today, I'm using some pantyhose that I cut up. You can use an old shirt, tie it to where you make a sack out of it. Whatever you got. Now the ones I'm using is the ones that I had that was already cut. These don't have like the little holes in it, so ladies, you can definitely get the one that, like, not the holes but more of the lace, because you don't want, I mean, it depends on you. If you want some of the stuff to come out, I got this now, well, I can use that. If you want some of the stuff come out in your water, that's fine. If not, it's still fine. Either way, you do what you do, what you got on hand. Got some string. You can use this type of twine like stuff, whatever, it don't matter. So put that right here, because this may not work. This thing right here, I just grabbed it. It don't matter what you grab to do your stuff with. So cut up pantyhose. This one just happen to have the feet still in, so I ain't gotta tie no knot. But if you have a piece that both ends is cut, just tie one end off. I have a bucket and I have earthworm castings. So let's go ahead and get to making this tea. Very simple, y'all, but a lot of y'all tell me, hey, it's better that you see it, and I'm like that too. I'm a visual person. It's better for me when I see it. So let me see. Y'all see that bucket right there? Trying to make sure y'all can see my bucket. So let me get my hose. It's chilly out here, y'all. I'm out here trying to get this done, y'all. So you can see, so filling my bucket up with water. I'm doing a little watering at the same time, y'all, because I get bored just filling up a bucket of water. I don't know. I do. Okay, back to filling. All right. That should be good enough. So I got my water. So now I'm about to take my cut up pantyhose, whatever you got, shirt, whatever. You just want to make it into a closed up sack. So I got the pantyhose, and I'm just gonna fill my pantyhose. I'm gonna hold it over this water because I don't want to lose none of this. It costs money. We ain't trying to lose none of it. So of course I'm gonna have some worm castings in my water. I don't mind it. If you mind it, then don't hold it over your bucket. So I have worm castings, and it's to your likings. But this is just to make the tea, y'all. So I have my pantyhose. with my worm castings in it. And this is just a way to save money too, y'all, because I have used this sack over and over. Now you're gonna take it and put it in your bucket. Take my screen, tie it around the pantyhose. And this screen that I got has wire in it, so it should be fine to latch. Now normally you'll have a bucket with a lid on it. I have a lid, so I have to get my lid. But you could take it, you could put something on it just to make sure that your thing don't go all the way, like the screen and all don't fall all the way in there and stuff like that. Also, what you can do, you can get something like a weight, like some type of weight or something, and put it in there. That way you make sure it goes to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure it goes to the bottom. If not, it can sit on the top, and every so many hours you can come and, you know, do it like this. Do it like this. But definitely get you a lighter fabric. Now normally that, like I said, I recommend you getting a weight to make sure it floats to the bottom, and lighter panty liners. But y'all get the point. This video is to show you, you know what. So get a lid put on it, and I have let it set for about 2-3 days. 2-3 days with a lid on it, letting it. And what it's gonna do is it's just what it is, earthworm tea. And then you take it, scoop it out, and fertilize whatever you want to fertilize with. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to talk to you guys about a few more of the ways that you can naturally fertilize your garden. So I have looked up a couple things for you guys that you can do naturally, and you know, you ain't got to spend a whole lot of money and stuff like that. So first, one of the things you can use is grass clippings. And fresh grass clippings, or it don't have to be fresh. What was that? Y'all, the kids. Okay, grass clippings can be considered a weed blocker, and it produces a lot of nitrogen. I won't be doing grass clippings because if y'all been following me, you know I am allergic to grass, which is another reason why it's hard for me to buy produce from the store now, because of the cross contamination. Because I don't know what the farmers are using. They may be using grass clippings for their for a part of their fertilizing and stuff like that. So I can't use that. 2, weeds. Weeds is something else I just found out that I am allergic to. And this is, when I say I'm allergic to something, it's because I've been tested for allergies by doctors and stuff like that. So I am allergic to weeds, both spring and spring, Lord, all year round, y'all. Spring and summer, fall and winter. Yeah. So weeds is another one that you can use. You can also make weed tea. Weed tea is similar to what you saw. Pretty much any teas is similar. What I showed you was a method with the earthworm castings. But for me, if I'm going to make a type of tea, like, I wouldn't do it that way. But I know some of you guys will do it that way. I don't have a problem with putting my ingredients in the bucket with some water, letting it sit. Because when I scoop it out, I feel like the more of the ingredients is in there, the better for the plants. So I don't mind that. But if you are one that do mind it, then make you some tea. Make you some tea and keep all the extra, the pulp and all that stuff out of it. Make you some tea. Make it. And that's one way that I had showed you guys to keep a lot of that out of your tea water. But you definitely can put it straight into the water. All right. So whatever works best for you, mama, papa, whatever works better for you, do it. Let's see. Next, kitchen straps. kitchen straps, that's, you know, your leftover fruits, peels, or whatever straps you got. A lot of people take it and put it into a compost bin that is nothing more than a container that you probably have outside or something, or not even a container. You can have a part of your yard or anything that you take and put all the straps, and as it rotten and break down and stuff, it becomes a good fertilizer for your soil. All right, now I ain't one of those to get into all the nitrogen and stuff like that. Y'all already know if you're on my channel, I don't get into all that extra stuff. If you want to find out more about that stuff, then just, you know, just look it up. I'm here to show you how easy it is to garden. And like y'all know my motto, gardening is supposed to be fun. If you make it hard, it may not get done. And that is so true, because sometimes we may get frustrated. We are human beings. We get frustrated. It's like, you know, I'm not too into all these different numbers and this. You got people that's like that, and nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with them. They not crazy. They not slow. They not none of that. It's just we can break down certain things. And so that's why I feel like, you know, there's no right way to garden, because what you may use and what may work for you may not work for the next person. But that don't make it seem like that's nothing wrong with the next person. It's just we're human beings and we're different, right? All right, then everything is, you know, comes along with that. So that's why you can do your kitchen straps and stuff like that. Also manure. Cows, horses, chickens, things like that, their poop is good to fertilize with. Yes, it don't smell good and all that stuff, you might be as gross, but it gives off good nutrients and vitamins and stuff to your plants. Now, I showed y'all in some videos before, I made the manure tea, and all I used was black cow manure in a bucket with some water. I needed to go ahead and fertilize some things right then, so I scooped it out right then, and especially for the video purposes, I scooped it out right then. But definitely let it sit overnight or a day or two in a bucket, and it'll be more potent and more better. Now, you can definitely put that into something if you don't want the actual stuff to be like chunky or nothing in your stuff. I like that. If I could drink orange juice, it'll be with the pulp. Give me a little bit of something solid in the liquid. You can get, but that's just me. So even with that, I'd rather just dump it straight into the water. But if you want to do the sack thing with, you know, something on the sack or whatever, and let it go down like a tea bag or something like that, make sure you put a weight in the bottom of it so it can go down. I didn't have a weight on me right then, but I know we like fishing, so we have a lot of fishing stuff, so I could get a weight from one of the heavier weights, like when we would go fishing, like at the pier, like saltwater fishing. Some of their weights will be heavier. I can easily hook one of those to the bottom, and it'll sink that thing. So you can use whatever is heavy that'll take it to the bottom. Just make sure it's something in the guidelines that you will want in your food. You know, I wouldn't get nothing rusty or like no brick or nothing and put it down. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. But y'all get what I'm saying. Also, tree leaves. Tree leaves is also a good one, and we got so many leaves. But the thing is, I don't think I'm gonna be using them, because I had to think about the leaves was raked from the ground. The grass pollen, the weeds pollen, and all that is on there. I don't want it in, because some plants, like your squash and stuff like that, you know, it do come in contact, depending on how big they are and whatever, especially when you growing in containers and stuff, it do come in contact with the soil or that top layer of the soil. And even though you're gonna wash it and all that, I don't want that to kind of be, it's enough that the stuff is outside and pollen and stuff is in the air. But if I can eliminate some of it, then that's what I'm doing, because that stuff do not like me. I actually had a reaction yesterday, and I think it was because I was sitting here transplanting all this stuff for so long. Last night I got like a big red spot, like right by my like right in the corner in the white part of my eye. Like it was coming from like the center though, and it was just, and I'm like, okay, please don't let this be pink eye or nothing like that coming. And this morning I had to do my Claritin, need to do some Flonase later to try to make sure, but I think it came from that, or either it's Summer, because I don't think Summer got wiped down. We have like doggy wipes for her, and when she comes from outside, she get wiped down. So I'm not sure if she got wiped down yesterday. I know I didn't wipe her down, but something was like, I'm like, okay, you good, you know what it is, just but it's crazy. So I have to be careful with that. So I won't be using tree leaves. Coffee grounds. Coffee grounds is good, especially for your tomatoes, your blueberries, and stuff like that that requires you to have acidic soil. Coffee grounds is really good. Now I'm gonna tell you, and don't judge me on this. I'm so scared of coffee. I love coffee. I love it, but I cannot drink it because of my anxiety. And I don't know where the mental part, even though I know this is not true, my mental part is like, I be worried about, is it going to give off a lot of the caffeine and stuff into my soul, and then it comes up through my food, and then I eat a zucchini and be high as a kite off caffeine. And I don't want that issue, because coffee don't work. Even decaf coffee that has, I think it's 1% or 10% of caffeine, because they can never take all the caffeine out of coffee, even though it's decaf. It messes with my anxiety, and I start having like adrenaline rushes, and just it's not a good feeling. So I think that's why, but I don't think it'll do that to your soul or nothing like that. I've not read anything or found it. It's just my mental state. So I don't use coffee grounds in my soil, but coffee grounds is really, really good for your blueberries, your tomatoes, and things like that need that thrive off that acidic soil. So coffee grounds is good for your soil. Eggshells is another one. Eggshells take a long time to break down. So last year what I did was I crumble them up. They still take a hard time, but you can also wash them out, put them in a blender or a grinder, and make a powder out of them, which is going to be something that I do this year. Hubby been eating a lot of eggs lately, and I think he threw the shelves away. So I'm going to get a container or something that anytime anybody eat eggs, I cannot eat eggs like that. They don't agree with me. So anytime anybody eat eggs, I will have something where I could go immediately and wash them out really good, and then like stash them somewhere till I get enough eggshells. And also I'm gonna try, now this is one thing, I know somebody told me about the 5-gallon buckets that I could go and to like the bakeries and stuff, but they also, I think some of them probably use eggs. I'm gonna see if I could get some eggshells from them, and then I'll do a video on that, if it's God's will, on how to grind up the eggshells and make a powder out of them, and then you can just sprinkle that onto your plants, your soil. Banana peels. Alright, so you can take banana peels, simple as this, throw it into a bucket, add some water, let it sit a couple days to get potent. Yes, it's gonna stink, but you can do that. A lot of people do that. I do not do that. One of my reasons, not there's nothing is wrong with it, but one of my reasons is, y'all know if you're new to my channel, I'm from Mississippi, born and raised. It is hot down there, and you deal with flies. There's enough in the air, especially with the town that I'm from. It was a small town, and you got all this farming and all this manure and stuff, and we don't do bugs. We don't do flies and stuff like that. It was like, you come in the house, you better come in the house and shut that door. Nobody want no flies in their house. Like, our girl was like, no. You come in. You don't sit out there and yell out and talk to Pookie and Peanut and them and Skillet and all them. You don't talk to them and leave her door open. You didn't do that. So, cause it just, it just was the natural thing that, flies. Even here in North Carolina, flies are so bad. I don't know if it's because we're coastal and you got the water. Any parts of town we go to, you always crossing over an inlet or something, and the water smell like dead fish, especially when it get hot. But I'm gonna tell y'all, since it's been cold, it's been even worse. And you smell, and in the summertime, the flies is just crazy, and I don't want that around my house. I have enough stuff to deal with. We're using the black cow, and then some of the fertilizer that I was using. No, so that is why I don't use the banana peels. But I know a lot of people. Well, I don't personally know them, but I have saw a lot of people use the banana peels, and they call it banana water. So those are some things that you can use for fertilizer. Y'all already see what I do. I take advice and I use some of it, and some of it I don't use. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that I'm doing what works for me, and you have to do what works for you. You have to do what's in your means. We ain't trying to spend. Last year I spent a lot of money starting back up with gardening, because y'all already know when I told you I was gardening years back, but I was doing a container in-house. That's when we lived on base and stuff, and we kept military moves and stuff like that. It wasn't good for me to start a garden out of in a yard and then know you have to leave at this. So I was doing small gardening, you know, with grow lights and stuff like that, growing a couple things here and there. But now that I'm doing this, I had to like start up, because I know I want to do container gardening, because of the fact the home that we're in now, we don't own this home, and I don't want to have to deal with digging up my stuff and all this when I decide to move. So with that being said, that is why. But even if I own this home, I think I still would do container gardening, because I just love container gardening. I can move it around, mix it up whenever I want to. I ain't gotta dig nothing up and all that. So I love container gardening. If you grow on the ground, that is still fine. That is, you know, do what you. I'm not knocking none of it. But I hope this video was informational for y'all. I hope you know, understand it, and like any of the things that I told you, you can actually make a tea out of it. Remember to let it sit longer. Like I say, I don't mind scooping up, having a chunk of black cow or something in it. It's gonna go in, it's gonna do what it do. I don't mind taking some of the stuff and just sprinkling it on there, then watering it in. It's still gonna do what it do. Like I say, we ain't trying to make it hard and go into the physics of it, because if I wanted to go into all that, the science of it and all that when it comes to gardening, then yeah, I probably will be in biology or something like that. Something dealing with science and all that. But I'm not. I don't take interest in that. So with that being said, I am, you know, we making it easy and on a budget, because when you start getting into a lot of this stuff, you start spending money a lot too. And let me go ahead and tell you, there's another thing that you can use. You have to buy this though, but this is supposed to be all the like in-home stuff. That's what this video about. But you can buy this stuff $5.11. I tried it last year, but the stench of it wasn't the smell. I'm used to all that stuff, like growing up. Like that stuff don't bother me. Yes, it stinks, but it don't bother me. It's just that it's just not for me. You know, it's just not for me. I'd rather do other things. Now I will be using this stuff. Y'all saw in another video called Dr. Earth. I do like that. I like more of the powdery stuff. You know, the stuff you can sprinkle. I do like liquid fertilizer and stuff like that. But I do love the powder stuff. The stuff that, you know, you can sprinkle on there, and this is this. So, you know, and it's a mixture. It's a mixture. I don't put it like this. Do we like to eat the same thing over and over all the time? No, we want to mix it up. We don't want to eat the same thing over and over. So I do that to my plant. You know, this fertilized day, this day that I'm fertilizing, you may get liquid. The next one, you may get some powder or something. You may get this one. You may get that one. I mix it up, and that's just the way I did it. And if you watched my videos last year, you saw I harvested a lot of great stuff. Didn't have too much of an issue. You know, you're going to have nicks and knacks here and there. You're going to fail sometime in the garden. It is what it is. The weather may not be on your side. The time may not be on your side. Or you may have some come over. You couldn't care for them like you should have. So either way it goes, don't get discouraged. Just keep on going. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to end this video right here. And we, yeah, so if you have not commented, if you have not liked this video, if you have not subscribed, please do. Also hit the notification bell, go into it, hit all so you can be notified each and every time that I upload a video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, happy gardening.